Okay, let's today uh, I'm going to talk on concurrent modification exception. So these exceptions generally whenever we are working on the collections of elements, and in those scenarios sometime we uh, get these exceptions, and then we are going to find out what are the solution and why these exceptions are coming. So our objective of the day is that we are going to understand what is this and what is the way you can overcome these exceptions. Okay, so let's talk basic. If you talk about the definitions, these are actually the runtime exception. So concurrent modification exception is the runtime exception. That means कि whenever you're writing code, while writing code, a compiler is not give any kind of warning or any kind of compile time error. So let's say a particular line can throw concurrent modification exception, but your compiler is not able to detect because this is the runtime exception. That means these exceptions only occur when your application in a execution mode. While executing, this exception you can receive. So there are two types of exception. One is the compile time, one is the runtime. That means compile time means whenever I write some code, whenever I go to the compile, at that time compiler say, hey, this is the error. Yeah, you have to catch the exception. So there are majorly two types of exception: runtime exception and compile time exception. So these concurrent modification exception come under the runtime exception. That means our compiler is not complaining, hey, you have to handle this exception. You have to handle this situation and scenario. You have to use the try by somehow. Okay. So let's think that this is the runtime exceptions, and it's occur when an object is modified concurrently while being iterated over, and it. Okay, so whenever you have a collections, let's so we have a collections, and in this is collection, whenever you start any iterator that means you are going to read one value, second value, third value. While iterating the collection, you have options. Let us on this original source. I can same time while you are iterating, you are reading the value and some condition match. Then you want to okay, let's remove this element. Let's you can add this element here. So whenever you have a collection and on this collections you will start iterating, and while iterations you are going to change, add or modify the object inside the update modify. In those scenario, you are found the concurrent modification exception, right? So here say and iterator does not support modification. So the whenever this is the Java designs, whenever you are going to start iterator, the iterator by default not support modification. While iteration, you are going to modify the original structures or change, add, modify. Iterator does not support. This is the designs. Okay, and this exception come under the Java util package. That's for your information, and it's commonly occur whenever you are working on the array list, hash map kind of collections. Okay, so whenever you are working on Java collections, that exception come, and sometime this exception also known as a fail fast iterator. So we're going to talk what do you mean by fail fast. Okay, so sometime someone say concurrent modification exception, or sometime you can say fail fast exception. So your application going to the fail if the particular concurrent modification happen. Okay. So the purpose why these concurrent modifications was introduced, even they are failing our application environment. Okay. So the objective of the this exception was the prevent unpredictable behavior during the iteration when underlying collection is structurally modified. So outside of the iterator. That means here the Java designer thinks if this is the collections, this is the collections, and in these collections maybe one iterator going on, another going to iterating, another you can start iterator going on, another iterator you have to start reading the element. Iterator means that means you are going to read element from here, read element from here, read element from here. So you let's see your iterator 1, iterator 2, iterator 3, three iterator reading the from the collection. So objective is that this iterator can design such way if your original structure change, they throw exception. So while iterating, you are getting exception. Whenever you are going to check, hey, there is a next element, you are going to get element, and if while whenever they are going to create iterator, at that time they understand, hey, this is the maybe this is the five element in this original collection. They know this is the five element. They know this is the five element. They know this is the five element. While iterating, if you are going to just remove them, then it's become a four. They have his iterator have a concept. I have to iterate the five element. So there is a mismatch between the count, your collections, original collection, and the iterator which you created. So due to that, if something, hey, this iterator understand, I am going to iterate the five element, but somehow someone going to modify them. So that is the unpredictable behavior. So to prevent those, so Java designer designs this iterator using this concurrent modification exception, so that we are ensure that if something unwanted happen, we know we fail our execution. Okay. So that is the objective. That means the collections are iteration by the multiple threads, and assumption is that if original collections are modified, maybe adding element or removing elements, in those scenario you you see these concurrent modification exceptions. Okay. So questions ki when and how it's occur. Okay. So generally, whenever you are iterating over the collection using the now, whenever you have a collections, so we have a multiple way to iterate the collections. One way using the iterator. Okay, so whenever you are the iterator, that means going to read next element, or even the enhance for loop. Okay, so these are the generally whenever you are going to uh, retrieve collections by a iterator or by enhanced for loop. Enhanced for loop, that's just mentioned like a for and your element and your collections. Whenever this is you are doing, this is the also. So whenever you are using for enhanced loop or using the iterator, and during this for loop or during this iteration, if the original collections are somehow get modified, somehow get changed, that will throw the exception. Okay, so to you modify the collection directly, maybe you add a remove method during the iteration. In those scenario, you are getting this exception. Okay, so let's example for good example. Let's write. We have a one list, and we are using the for enhanced loop. Whenever you are writing this code, so your compiler is not complaining any exception. But this line, whenever you are going to, this is the original list. This is your original list. This is original list, and now you can going to iterate them. So here, what iteration is started. They are going to iterate them, and if this iterator and this have any differences, this line through exception. So let's run code, and you can also observe. So let us run this code. Okay. So let's run this code. Okay, and just run. Okay. Okay. So let's import this. Import. So whenever you are writing this code, whenever you go to compile this code, at that compile time there is no any exception. Compilation there is no any kind of exception. But whenever you're going to run this code, okay, at that time this line throw concurrent modification exception. But logically, what you are trying to, you are iterating on list, and if list element contain b, then remove this particular item, whatever the history. So logically, that means you are going to the finding the particular elements. If element, then you want to remove them. But you are doing using the for enhanced loop or using the iterator. In those scenario, you get this concurrent modification exception. Okay, if you run this code, you are getting con. Okay, what happened? That's so much. Okay. Why are not getting exception? So strange. This would be list. We are removing list the item B. Okay. So let's check another. This should okay. So let's add another example. Okay. So let's add. You are using the iterate. Okay. Okay. Just let's then. What is happening somehow? Okay. This is the list. You are going to add the list. You are creating some elements and you start iterating. While iterations, you are going to add some element. So you are getting some kind of a concurrent modification exception. So somehow, whenever you have a list and start iterating, and while iterating, you are going to add or modify something. This will throw concurrent modification exception. Okay. Similarly, yeah, here also you have a maybe you want to remove something. Let's say you want to remove, you want to remove the particular iterator. This is also give the same problem. So objective is that whenever your list, original list, are going to modified while iterating or while the for enhanced loop. In the both cases, you are getting the exception. Okay, so these are the scenario where you can get exceptions like concurrent notification exception. While your lists are here, you are going to the modified why already iteration started. Okay, so let's talk about the behavior, how fail past works right now. So whenever you have a collections and you have a iteration element one, two, three, and something we're going to the modify. The somehow internally this iteration know the collection count as well as the iteration count. Any count size differences it will throw exception right now. So for example collection abc interest, so whenever any structure like removing or adding element occur outside of the iterator during the iteration, fail a fast mechanic detected. So here something modify, then they say, hey, collections you are going to the change somehow, then it's going to the fail. Okay, so this fail fast behavior ensure that when the predict, hey, something instead of your inconsistent behavior happen, our application make a fail. So they are going to fail first because something unwanted, don't want anything inconsistent behavior happen, because on this collection another maybe iterations can be used. So similarly, one words might be you aware that so one terminology fail fast and one is the fail safe. So two kind of iteration you can say. One, if your original collection, while iteration, you are going to perform some plus or minus, it will throw exception. But there are a concept when we have a collections and you want to maybe some add element or remove element while iteration, it's allowed. So whenever we allow, you can say fail safe iterator. Some iterator fail, that is known as a fail fast iterator. Okay, so there are a couple of designs here. By default, the fail fast iterator generally whenever using the array list hash map iterator. But whenever you are using a different classes like copy on write array list or concurrent hash map, whenever you are using this kind of a collections or in those scenario, this fail fast exception not occur. Okay, so sometime as a designs you want your application, your iterator would be the fail fast or fail safe. If you want your application should be fail safe, so you have to use the different collections. So how think how sometime it's fail and how sometime iterator not fail. There are different designs. Okay, so notice in a fail, a fast iterator, the collection structure modify, it will throw exception. But in the case of fail safe, there are different, you can say, designs here. So work on the clone or the snapshot of the collection. So this iteration, previously the iteration going to get element from the original, okay, A, then B, then C here. But here in the fail safe, they are not going to work on the original collection. They are going to the make one copy, and in this copy iterator work. So this copy and snapshot you can say, and this is the iterator. Both are in the consistent. So they are not going to do any kind of fail, because in those scenario the collection in this were defined whenever you are going to create iterator, they are making a one copy or making a clone, and the clone iterator is going to work. If something modification happen here or removal happen, they are not any kind of failure. So this is your choice. You want to collection some iteration happen, you want to fail safe, then go with the different collection. If you want to fail fast, then go with the different collection. The iterator have a both depend upon the which collections you are going to iterate. Okay, so these are some. If you talk both features and the comparisons, the very good on the behavioral modification you want. So sometime you want, hey, exception must be throw. Sometime no, I don't want to exception work, but instead I want to working on the clone or copy. So due to that, the iterator are not fail. So here, fail fast iterator work on the your original original list. So due to that, if anything change, they are through exception. They whatever the original, this make a one copy, on the copy it's working. If something modification happen, it's not throw an exception. Okay, so underlying this fail fast iterator work on the original collection, and fail safe iterator work on the copy or snapshot or clone of the original. This is the reason why I say this is the fail safe iterator. That means you iterate safely because you are working on a different copy. And good example, you can either array list, hash map, hash it, all are the fail fast collection. So whenever you start an iterator, you can get a failure. But like here, copy on array list or concurrent hash map, these are the designed such a way you can iterate without any kind of a failure. So generally, from thread safety point of view, these are the not thread safe. Okay, these are the by design fail safe means they are the thread safe class because they are always working at the copy. That's each are not shareable. Performance, if you talk about the performance, surely whenever you can apply any kind of a copy or synchronizations or cloning, it will take extra time. So that is the slower, little bit slower than your fail fast. There is because fail fast, there is no mechanism to make a copy, a clone, or something. Okay, they are working at the original. So due to that, little bit performance is better. So generally, whenever you look the application, many times you are finding this array list can be used. Okay. Similarly, if you talk about the memory uses, surely these are the low memory uses, these are the higher memory uses because they are going to make a clone. Your array list is very bigger size, make a clone and do iterator. That is a higher memory consumptions. Okay, so generally, whenever your applications are single-threaded applications, our particular operation can be handled single-threaded. Let's go with the uh, fail fast iterator. But your applications are requests are concurrent or multi-threaded environments, then you go with a fail safe iterator. So depend upon your, you can say, use case scenario. Java designers provide iterator in the both mode. Your iterator can be fail safe or iterator can be fail fast. Depend upon your feature, depend upon your use case, you have to choose. That means both are the tool. Throw exception, concurrent modification is one tool and does not throw another tool. So Java designer provide the both thing. Now that's our Java developer responsibility. We have to think which exceptions we can take. Okay, let's talk how we can use couple of example to fail fast. Okay, so how to sometime some developer can similar kind of, let's say this is a good this is the scenario. Okay, so let's this is the one use case. Okay, so here you have a one list. The sometime, let's you are using the for loop as the index. So your requirement, if the particular words and any words contain e, you can remove the particular. So whenever you're writing this code, this code is not throwing exception, but logically they are not meet our requirement. Okay, so sometimes someone write this code. So notice this code works without any exception, but it cannot meet because notice here this is still contain e. This is still contain e. Reason, what is the reason? Reason is that they are removing the not the item, not the list contained. They're removing the index. So this API will remove the index, the particular index. So whenever particular index in the array list, there is a concept. So let us. Okay. So whenever you have array list here, whenever you have array list, and let's you identify this is the like here one. Whenever you are going to remove this element. Okay, so now all the element, this is the zero position, this is the 1 2 3 4 5, and all the elements are again shift, again this shift to the first place, zero position, then 1 2 3 4. So these every element shift. So whenever element shift, your this data move to the next position. Now next time maybe this you are not testing. So for example, let us see here clear. So this data is skip. So logically, if let's say here, maybe, for example, you put some here E. So this element somehow you not checking, even because they are shift to the 0%. 0% you identify this is the one, you remove them, and now this become a 0%. Next time you are going to check the one position. So notice this is not the removed. So only the logical problem here. The sometime if you are going to loop the elements from the list using the for loop and try to remove, be carefully, you have to manage the index. So you have to just shift the index minus as well as, so that you are getting the proper logically fixed. So you have to do this way, but sometime someone missed that. That is the logical bug in our application. Okay, so this is the way sometime you can start iterating the element using the loop. Okay, and so please be adjust your index while removing of the elements. Okay, so now sometime you want to make a safe removal. So another way, okay, maybe you can use the iterator. So iterator have a method remove itself. Instead of you going to modify the list, you have an option use the iterator dot remove. That will help us safely remove the element. Instead of you are going to remove list dot remove or add the, okay, okay, in this way. So this is the unsafe removal. So instead you are going to use a remove element while iteration iterator already given the remove method, they are provide the safe removal even in the multi-threaded environment. So sometime you while iterator you want to remove the element, so don't modify the list itself. You modify the iterator have a remove methods. They internally the Java designer making sure that your removal is very safe. So good point. If you want to while iterator you want to remove or add elements, let's do using the iterator method itself. Okay, so this is the another way, or you can even better option, we can use the lambda expression if possible you can. Instead of that, simply everything is say surely you want to remove something, just mention like list dot remove if, okay, and you can provide the condition. Okay, let's as that content be. So better options if you are using the Java 8 Lambda expression, that's great. You can use this way. This will make your you can say list removal is very safely removed. Okay, so these are the existing. If you are reading the existing array list and still you want to save removal, these are the couple of exposure. You can use the iterator, and iterator have a remove methods. You can go, or you can use the index removal. Okay, so these are the existing array list. Still you want to some kind of a removal. These are the approaches. But next couple of example, already we have a specific collection like a copy and a release. They are internally allow even you can remove the list. So if you this code, if you look here, okay, okay, here, okay, notice. So this list you can perform list dot removal, list dot add everything, because this is a designs. Whenever you're going to start iteration, ye internally work on the copy of item. So it will allow safe removal. This is the fail safe kind of iterator. Here, you if even you can going to the modify the list, add or remove, still they will not throw an exception. Okay, even you are going to add some element also, this allow not just remove, even you want to add some element, it's also allow to add the element. Okay, so even in the list you can add something new, it's safe because they are working on the clone or copy. So whenever you start any iterator, maybe in answer for loop or using iterator, they allow The original list can be to you can add and modify because you are working on the copy or snapshot. And even you can use a different collection like concurrent hash map also you can use to make kind of modification on the original map dot you can apply remove map dot add even this is the work. So depend if you want to fail safe collections then surely you can use this different collections like concurrent hash map like here even you can use the copy and array list and still no you want to still use the array list something kind of concept then even you can use the lambda functions conditional remove on the array list side or better option if you are using the iterator you can use this you can use this iterator have a remove method. Okay, so first things try to use iterator have a remove methods or if you want to original list use the conditional here lambda expression pass and this method help us ensure that they are fail safe removal on your array list. But sometime you want to maybe our still I want to modify the original like here list I want to modify the list itself. So let's you can use a different data structure like a copy and array list or you can say you want to add the original list you can use the copy and array list. If you want to kind of some concurrent hash map is also one of the thread safe collections. Okay, yeah, fail safe iterator they offer. Okay, so whenever you can start iterator, this is the fail safe. Safely you can modify here, remove the this original map because internally they are working on the copy of your collections. Okay, so these are the some observations whenever you uh, uh, get the concurrent modification. Whenever you get the concurrent modification, you have options. You can fix them. First fix maybe if you are using the iterator use the iterator method itself to remove, or using the lambda function remove if possible. Okay, so these are the options you have. Or separately, you can a different collection. Maybe concurrent hash map, up copy, and write array list itself. Separate collections is designed for the fail safe iterator. Okay, so generally, whenever you are using the collection can throw exception. So generally, your if your application is a multi-threaded environments or your real-time applications where your reliability and consistency are very critical, so you have to generally avoid. This is not advisable to use the concurrent modification exception throw. So whenever your application is a multi-threaded environment, a real-time system, where you want to ensure the reliability and consistency are the very very critical. Let's go with a fail safe collection like concurrent hash map, copy and array list something. Okay, sometimes it's a very problematic because this is a suddenly throw unaccepted exception the your GBM can be crashed your application can be stopped. Okay, so whenever you are using this throw concurrent modification exception you have to be carefully apply synchronization or thread safety very extra you can say keep in mind to handle this exception because they can throw and if you are not handled properly your application can be crashed. So if your application is not a design, be carefully. If you are using the fail fast iterator, please be carefully handle this concurrent modification action carefully. And if you are using any multi-threaded application, then be carefully apply the synchronization and everything. Okay. So if you talk about something advantage and disadvantage of this, surely fail fast behavior help us to detect early. So if your application throw exception, you can easily identify something problem. I can and you can even prevent the data inconsistency during the iteration. That's the main points. The data inconsistency while the multiple iteration going on. That's encourage the safe iteration practice. Okay. what is the disadvantage of these exceptions? Maybe initially can be confusing for the beginner how to handle this modification is not suitable for the concurrent modification, and even required extra kind of a code to handle such exceptions. Okay, so these are the some plus and minus with respect to the concurrent modification exception, but we as a developer we should aware these are the collections, and these are the iterator we have, and why be carefully. Let's read. So good part. Whatever the you want to read the more, you can go the Java official documentation and just read everything about the concurrent modification and how to play. What are the designs here? Everything's okay. So these are the things you can check out this concurrent modification exception summary construction or whatever way. But the objective is that you should aware our because we are using collection, and collection also we are using the iterating collection with the enhanced for loop. So whenever you're using the enhanced for loop, somewhere you are going to add or remove elements. Sometime you can get this exception because this is the runtime exception, uncatch exception. So compiler cannot complain. Your application can fail at the runtime. So be carefully choose the which iterator you are going to use. Your applications if have some different options, be careful. So generally collections also have some thread safe collection, and non thread safe collections like array list we are using, has set using right now. These are the your support fail fast iterator. Okay, so here our iterator work on the original, and if original if you modify it with exception. But thread safe collection like concurrent hash map, yeah, copy write array list, copy write array list, the concurrent hash map, these are the thread safe collection. That means here you are start iterating, while iteration someone can modify, someone can update the collection. Even your iterator cannot throw exception because they are working on a different copy. So here whenever you can start iterator create the clone of this, and iterator work on this copy. Due to that they are not throwing exception. Here whenever you start iterating, they are accessing the original collection to get element. If something remove after happen, something deletion happen, you throw fail fast exception or concurrent modification exception. So now it's very clear to you whenever you are going to iterate any collections, be carefully check which kind of data structure collections you are using. If you are using the thread safe collection, you are very feel free your application and cannot throw exception, you are very safe. But you are using the non-thread safe collection like array list, yeah, hash table, hash set. So hash set, yeah, hash map. In those scenario, be aware you have to handle properly concurrent modifications. So they can your iteration can throw exception. So these are the some points that you have to aware while working with a concurrent modification exception. Why we have to be cautious aware, because these are the runtime exception. Your application is throw exception while running, your application can crash, your application can be stopped, you are not be carefully handle them. Okay, so be aware as a developer, we are responsible. Your application should be reliable and consistent. So both scenario, be carefully choose. So if we aware with this concept, that help us to choose the proper collection and choose the proper iterator to iterate the collections. So hope this information is helpful for you. Thank you.